Look at
But
John.
hit the running man first.
Look at this guy, loving it.
It's pretty funny.
In the rain.
That shit is not funny, Pete.
And then what's happening here?
You know yourself.
What is going on? John is this is retirement John.
You do know
Boys with a few
yourself.
cocktails.
Tom comes out, and I think he did an interview, who is it, with DJ? And he talks about how, all this kind of sucks. Tom's in a tough spot. I've been inactive for nearly a year, and I'm just being told to wait. I don't care about fighting John Jones. I just want to be the undisputed champion. By the way, I've been saying this from the beginning. Like, the John part is just a nice little item, but he just wants undisputed gold. John loving this. Shut your mouth and do as you're told. Oh my God, the ultimate here.
Tom Aspinall has been pushing for a bout with John Jones. Meanwhile, Jones makes fun of Aspinall on social media. However, Ariel Helwani thinks there is no genuine urgency from the UFC over Tom Aspinall's position. In his opinion, the promotion appears to be in no hurry because they most likely plan to bring Tom back in time for the Madison Square Garden card later in the year. He mentioned it was disappointing because Tom was healthy and ready to fight much sooner. Ariel pointed out that Tom could easily fight once, if not twice, before MSG, but he's being kept on the sidelines, which he considers a waste of time and energy for one of the division's most exciting competitors.
I think there's no urgency. There's no need. They only really need Tom back by MSG, which sucks because he should be fighting earlier than that. He could probably fight twice before that, or at least once, and then MSG.
Fight one more time in November.
Ariel Helwani went on to say that he believes fans and media will eventually have a better understanding of the situation within the next month. He identified International Match Week as the most likely time for substantial improvements, especially in the heavyweight class and the potential match between John Jones and Tom Aspinall. According to Ariel, that is his new prediction and personal deadline. By then, he expects the UFC to make an announcement or decision. He highlighted that the current state of uncertainty cannot persist much longer, and that International Fight Week would be an excellent chance for the UFC to lay out what comes next.
I think in about a month or so, I think by International Fight Week, we'll know what's up. That's my new prediction. That's the new deadline.
Just a year.
On the other hand, Daniel Cormier stated that the current scenario is illogical. He argued that it is ludicrous to have a heavyweight champion who is not defending his championship, while the interim champion is actually defending a belt. He thinks that an interim champion cannot face all challengers while the true champion is idle. Ben Askren agreed, saying that having a heavyweight champion who refuses to defend the title is already problematic. But allowing the interim champ to defend the belt many times while the Real champ does nothing only makes the situation worse.
The interim champion is just defending the belt over and over again. That is absurd. Like, come on, man. You can't have an interim champ. You can't have an interim champ defending the belt.
Having a heavyweight champion who won't defend his belt's kind of absurd also.
You can't have an interim champion that's defending the belt while the heavyweight champion is...
Daniel Cormier and Ben Askren reviewed John Jones's apparent enjoyment of life in Thailand, which includes riding motorcycles, leaping into pools, smiling, and appearing stress-free, raising questions about whether he still plans to fight. He hasn't officially retired, but he talks like he's moved on. They were also confused by Tom Aspinall's most recent statement. He teased heavyweight news before admitting it wasn't his fight, sparking rumors that the UFC would be stripping John. Or moving on. DC and Ben thought it was time to give Tom a fight after he had been idle for nearly 10 months. And there are plenty of heavyweights like Volkov ready to battle.
John Jones was jumping into a pool. John Jones was riding a motorcycle in Thailand. John Jones was, he says that he's living his best life. But does that mean it's over? Like, is fighting done for him? I don't know, because he said something about being happy, but he wouldn't say he's retired. It's a weird place that he's at in his career right now.
And then Aspinall's message yesterday, that was weird.
Well, Aspinall was doing what he did.
He was saying heavyweight news coming up soon or something, and then later he clarifies that wasn't my it's not my fight. So it's like, does that mean they're stripping John and they're moving on? Like, what does that mean? Like, what? Are you watching this?
Hey, when John Jones was in that pool, they're like dipping him and stuff. Like, he just seemed happy. He's smiling. I ain't never seen his smile so big in my life. He's smiling, man. He's so happy. What's wrong? What is that?
He's living his best life, man. Let him go. So just give Tom Aspinall a damn fight. Tom Aspinall's been sitting on the bench for, I don't know, 10 months now. We have other heavyweights. Volkov was recently speaking up about how he would like to be more active. We have plenty of other heavyweights who want to be plenty active. Just give these guys fight.
Daniel Cormier also addressed how bizarre and unusual it is that Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall have the same number of heavyweight title defenses. He thinks it makes no sense that the interim champion, who is supposed to be the backup, has defended his title as many times as the official champion. DC pointed out that Jon Jones is still the true king, but he hasn't been fighting. While Tom is still active, he thinks this type of situation is confusing for spectators, unjust to the other fighters in the division, and makes the overall title picture difficult to understand. According to DC, something has to change since the interim champ cannot do more work than the true winner.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy?
Super weird.
Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall both have the same amount of title defenses. One.
Heavyweight title defense.
Heavyweight title defenses. How is that possible? How does your interim champion have the same amount of heavyweight title defenses as your active champion? It doesn't make sense.
Furthermore, Chael Sonnen stated that he is not bored of the Jon Jones scenario because he is used to it by now. He pointed out that Jon had already sat out for 3 years trying to build up for heavyweight, taking creatine and performing pull-ups, despite the fact that many thought he could have competed at his natural weight. Chael remarked that Jon went from 228 to 236 pounds during that time, but fans were denied up to 9 possible battles, possibly 5 or 6, with one of the best fighters of all time. He expected that people would wish they had recorded the conflicts. So, while he isn't weary by the present drama, he admits he is annoyed and even sad, especially after 75,000 fans signed a petition to strip Jon and Tom Aspinall of their BMF interim belts while simply sitting and waiting.
Talk about some storylines that are going on right now. We're about to enter the big summer month of June, International Fight Week, 2 pay-per-views for the UFC, but all anyone can seemingly talk about is the heavyweight division and the absolute mess that's going on. I'm almost tired of it. There's not much more that needs to be said. There's a petition out there with 75,000 plus people asking for Jon Jones to be stripped. Tom Aspinall's teasing some sort of announcement for Wednesday, but says it's not going to be a fight, and then made a joke that they're giving him an interim BMF title fight in the heavyweight division. Like, he's clearly just joking around, but I don't know. This is exhausting. Are you tired of this? Are you exhausted of this as well?
I am not. We saw Jon Jones sit on his ass for 3 years where he could have come out and fought. And there were 3 years when, he's taking creatine and doing pull-ups and trying to gain some weight. But the rest of us that had fought him and even observed, he said, hey, Jon, you don't need to gain weight. You can go right now. Well, I think he weighed like 228 when this experiment started. He got all the way to 236, but he burned 3 years. 3 years at 3 fights a year, which is the average. We got robbed of 9 or 10 Jon Jones fights, which even if realistically was 5 or 6, 5 or 6 more experiences with the greatest mixed martial artists ever do. Like, we're going to really want that someday. We're going to want those tapes. We're going to want those matches and wish that he had them. So I only tell you, no, in that regard, I'm not annoyed. I'm very used to it. I am annoyed, and maybe even to the point of a little disappointed. One thing about this sport, as you well know.
Tom Aspinall claimed he feels Jon Jones is afraid to fight him. He stated that Jon avoided a battle with Francis Ngannou for 3 years and has now avoided him for more than a year. Aspinall noticed that Jon is very savvy in how he handles the media and public perception, which he appreciates, but he thinks Jon is avoiding the most difficulties at this point in his career. So, when asked directly if Jon Jones is terrified to fight him, Aspinall gave a simple answer. Yeah, certainly.
Is Jon Jones scared to fight you?
Yes, absolutely. The thing with Jon, I think the fact that he didn't want to fight Ngannou for 3 years, and now he's not wanting to fight me for over a year, and the way he manipulates the media and the public is super smart. I'm not taking anything away from him, but do I think he's scared to take the tough fights at this stage in his career? Absolutely. I respect it, but if you're going to ask me the straight up question, is Jon Jones afraid to fight me? The honest answer would be.
Furthermore, Ariel Helwani commented on the viral video of Jon Jones plunging into a pool, saying, Jon is clearly loving all the attention and just messing with everyone at this point. He joked that every time you go online, John is either fighting a lot of guys in a pool or doing something strange in Thailand. Ariel noticed that John appeared to be having a great time leaping into the pool in the rain while wearing a tank top and even a cap, which she thought amusing and weird. He smiled at how strange it looked, wondering if the headgear or the shirt in the pool was wilder. He also joked that someone was shooting John from the side of the pool, and he wondered who the people around him were. To Ariel, this was retired. John just chilling, probably with a few cocktails, obviously not taking things seriously, and enjoying his best odd life.
Every time we go online now, John's loving this. John is absolutely loving this. He is just messing with us at this point. Like, you go online and he's like, I don't know what he's doing. He's wrestling with 10 guys in the pool. What's he doing over there in Thailand? Are they even... Look at
But
John.
hit the running man first.
Look at this guy, loving it.
It's pretty funny.
In the rain.
That shit is not funny, Pete.
Also, is he wearing a cap? Why is he jumping into the pool wearing a cap? And then what's happening here?
You know yourself.
What is going on? John is just... This is retirement John.
You do know
Boys with a few
yourself.
cocktails.
Is he wearing a tank top? What's happening? What is going... Who are those guys, by the way?
They look, I don't know.
Is the shirt in the pool or the cap in the pool a crazier move?
I think diving with the cap is
It's just a
bizarre.
bunch
You
of
didn't
ducks in
dive.
the pool. What are you guys talking about?
Or whatever. that is.
Wow,
Frankie.
Frankie.
Is that lad in the nip there that's recording at the side of the pool? To
What
the
is-
phone.
I don't know what that is.
That's like a
Oh,
DJI.
it's moving
Looks like he's
around.
not wearing any.
Ariel Helwani discussed Tom Aspinall's latest interview, possibly with Demetrius Johnson, in which he stated the entire situation has been difficult. He says he has been dormant for about a year and is simply being instructed to wait, despite the fact that he has no interest in facing Jon Jones particularly. Tom made it plain that his only goal is to be the unquestioned champion. The Jon fight is simply a bonus. Ariel backed up her claim by saying that Tom had always said this. Then Ariel read a comment Jon Jones left on Instagram that said, "Shut your mouth and do as you're told," and reacted with amazement, saying, "Oh my God," and showing how bizarre and messy the entire situation has gotten.
Tom comes out, and I think he did an interview. Who is it with? DJ, and he talks about how all this kind of sucks. Tom's in a tough spot. I've been inactive for nearly a year, and I'm just being told to wait. I don't care about fighting Jon Jones. I just want to be the undisputed champion. By the way, I've been saying this from the beginning. Like, the Jon part is just a nice little item, but he just wants undisputed gold. John loving this. Shut your mouth and do as you're told. Oh my God, the ultimate.
However, Patty Pimplett described a prospective fight between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall as a must-see event. He expressed major support for Aspinall and stated that he would love to see him win, but he also respected Jon Jones' intelligence and abilities inside the cage. Pimblett said that it is difficult to pick against someone like Jones, who has extensive experience and knows how to break down opponents with strategy. That contrast, he continued, is what will make the fight so thrilling to witness.
Do you think the Aspinall-Jones fights happens?
It's got to happen. I was sitting next to Tom the other week at the UFC in London and talking to him about it.
How do you think that plays out if they fight?
I'll be honest, Tom's a friend. I love Tom. He's one of the coolest dudes in the whole of MMA. Even though Jones is getting old, I just can't pick against Jon Jones. The one thing I do think Jon Jones has got the best in the world and the best ever is fight IQ. He has a perfect game plan to beat that person. As much as I love Tom and I want Tom to win, I couldn't pick against Jon Jones. It's just something I couldn't do.
Eddie Hall, on the other hand, voiced confidence that Tom Aspinall would win a fight against Jon Jones in the octagon. He respected Jones' pedigree and accomplishments in MMA, but felt that Aspinall's combination of skill, speed, and raw potential would be too much for Jones to handle. According to Hall, Tom has the ability to defeat one of the sport's all-time greats.
Jon Jones or Tom Aspinall. So if you don't know MMA world, sorry to bore you, but Tom Aspinall is UFC's #1 right now. Jon Jones is, he's seen as the best MMA fighter on the planet. Dana White's got a massive for him, says he's unbeatable. Honestly, I think if you put Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall in a room and said one man leaves, I think Tom Aspinall leaves that room. I genuinely do. I think, and I think Jon Jones, I can't badmouth the guy. He's got an amazing record, but he's definitely ducking Tom Aspinall, 100%. And I think he's even said he doesn't want to fight Tom Aspinall after his next fight. He's pretty much going to retire after this fight, so he's ducking Tom Aspinall.
Hall did not simply back Tom Aspinall to beat Jon Jones. He also chastised Jones for trying to dodge the battle entirely. Paul noted that Jones' reluctance to accept the matchup could be a symptom of fear, noting that when someone truly wants to prove themselves, they do so via action rather than just talking. He was sure that if the battle took place, Aspinall would win.
I mean, he can say what he wants, but actions speak louder than words. So, there we go. Anyway, the answer to that question is Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is kicking John Jones.
Furthermore, Rampage Jackson praised John Jones, saying he doesn't think anyone can actually beat him. Looking back on their fight, Rampage admitted that despite being in terrific shape at the time, he couldn't win versus Jones. While Rampage admits that Tom Aspinall is a legitimate challenger with considerable skills, he does not regard him as a real danger to Jones' domination. He also highlighted hearing that John plans to spend 6 months researching Aspinall's style ahead of a prospective fight, which he saw as a proof of Jones's astute, strategic approach. Rampage even dubbed Jones the Neo of MMA, citing his unrivaled ability to understand, control, and totally influence the flow of a fight.
You fought John Jones back in the day. People are
why you only bringing up my losses?
People are all talking about John Jones versus Tom Aspinall. How do you see that fight going? You got Tom or you got John?
Man, I don't think there's nobody on this planet that can beat John Jones because I was in there with him. I was at my best, and I've never lost a fight at my best until John Jones. And, you know, no disrespect to Tom Aspinall, but he a good fighter. You know what I'm saying? I think he's probably second best out there, but I don't see him.
You think John Jones finishes him?
I think John Jones is just a real smart fighter. I heard something like he want to take 6 months before he fight Aspinall. I think it's because he want to study him. He want to break him down, you know. Right. John Jones ain't no fool. He's probably one of the smartest fighters out there. I say he like Neo. He's Neo.
Belal Muhammad also sees Tom Aspinall as John Jones's most difficult test to date, citing Aspinall's speed, power, and the progression of this new breed of heavyweights. Although he still thinks Jones will win the bout, Muhammad feels it will only happen if the stakes are high. He said that Dana White would surely want to make the fight happen because of its enormous commercial appeal, but he thinks Jones would accept it unless the payment was between $30 and $50 million. Muhammad thinks Jones has already established his reputation and may prefer a more lucrative or legacy-focused clash, such as a fight with Alex Pereira.
I'm John Jones. Like, a lot of people consider him the GOAT, the best fighter ever do it. The next hungry lion is Aspinall. It's probably the toughest fight that he'll have. Like, this guy's the next generation. He's a lot stronger, a lot faster. But I think John Jones is good enough to beat him. But it's like, it has to be worth it. The fans are fickle, right? You lose one fight, they're gonna, he sucks. Right? They just care about your last win or your last loss. I think Dana White and them will end up making it. Dana White's a smart businessman. He knows how much money that fight will make. If I'm John Jones, you've already done everything in the sport. It's not worth it unless it's that $30 million, $50 million payday. If I'm John Jones, I'm picking out Pereira first over Aspinall.
That's all for today's show. So what are your thoughts about this? Is John Jones avoiding Tom Aspinall? We'd love to hear your views. So please share your ideas in the comments section. And if you liked the video, subscribe and like it. Also, look at our other movies on the screen to the right.